Okay, I'll look into that. I'll let you know what's going on with it.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome. So I think they trashed all the surveys.
All right. We'll see what we can do. I'll talk to the mayor's office also.
Morning, Rosa.
Good morning, Barbara. How are you?
Good. How are you?
John, Smith, and Mary. Diana.
Good morning, Rosa. How are you, darling?
Oh, good. Thanks.
I am too. Hey, Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Morning,
I'm
Chris.
well. How are you? I'm good.
Hi. That must be Norris and Dax waving.
No, it's Tanya.
Oh, Tanya. Tanya.
Tanya. Well, she was blurred.
Good morning.
Good
You got the sun in her back.
Tanya.
Yeah, you can't see her.
Oh, no,
The sun.
I just took myself out by mistake.
Be incognito until she's formally announced.
Let me sign off and sign back on real quick. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Chris.
On again.
Good morning, Chris.
There we go.
All right.
Tanya.
Let's see. It's 10:01. You want to get started?
Sure.
All right, Pam. You want to do a roll call?
Oh, much better.
Arthur? Philip?
He was
Diane.
here.
Present.
George Harvey is absent today. Betty Gonzalez, Mary Joyner,
Present.
Carly McLean, Barbara Mann,
Present.
John, and Smitty.
Yep.
Joan,
Here.
Tanya, and Chris.
Good morning. Present.
Morning.
Morning.
All right. So, you know what? We might as well just start. We were going to have somebody speak today, but I don't think he's on yet, is he? I don't see him on here.
No, he's not.
No. All right. So we'll just start with, we'll give the floor to Chris for his updates.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So I want to introduce Tanya. Tanya's the new program manager for the Senior Center. We're really excited to have her on board.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome, Tanya.
As far as the budget goes, I sent out the year-to-date budget report to everyone. So going forward, you know, it's for the longest time it was just me on the salary line. Now we have Tanya, and we're in the final stages of hiring 2 more people, the outreach coordinator and the head clerk. So by the next council on aging meeting, they'll be on board as well. I'm really excited about the whole team. I think you guys are gonna love them all. They're really good, positive people, and yeah, I'm really excited to, you know, to have them on board, and we're lucky to have them. And we're gonna be posting the driver position within a week or 2 as well. So I'm really excited about that as well. And as far as the building goes, I got the keys on Monday. So
Yay.
Hey,
yes, we can set up a walkthrough and when everyone's available. If everyone's available tomorrow would be a good day. We can go check it out.
What
Today,
time? What time, Chris? Tomorrow?
we can come up with a time that works with everyone, for everyone. We can we can have a discussion after and see what time everyone. I'm pretty open tomorrow, so whatever time suits the most people is fine with me, and we'll find a way to make it work. I think you guys are going to be really excited with the place. It's beautiful. It's pretty much turnkey, and we're really excited. We're waiting on the movers to tell us when we can move the stuff from the armory into the new senior center. And today, all the responses for the architect for the senior center are due by today. So we'll have an architect on board soon. Very exciting as well. Yeah, we're in the final stages of like a couple of different grants that would be extremely helpful and beneficial to the senior center. So actually, me and Tanya have to go to Lowell this afternoon to do an in-life pitch for a grant. So we'll be working on that this afternoon and working with the mayor's office on some other fundings, and which will help us outfit the senior center, you know, how we seem fit. Yesterday, we picked up the bus from DPW. It's inspected and shared. We brought it to our new senior center, so we're excited about that as well.
Yay.
Hooray.
Yeah, we gotta spruce it up, put some color on it, and there was a minor little problem with the lift. We're gonna get it fixed, but yeah, we're really excited about that as well. This afternoon, I'm meeting with Gliss, with Kathy Burns. We're gonna discuss, you know, what services and programs they're willing to offer to the senior center. So this is gonna be a big meeting. We're really excited about this as well. You know, we wanna fill that partnership again. So Kathy Burns has been great, and she wants to work together, and you know, the city does as well. So we'll see. You know, I know food is a major thing at the senior center, so hopefully we'll be able to offer some quality food for the seniors on a daily basis. So we'll see how that goes today. And so we're in talks with the company LPI about the newsletter. They do over 140 newsletters throughout Massachusetts. So we'll be meeting with the lady next week from LPI, so we can, as soon as we're all in, we can get the newsletter up and running again. I know that's a big concern of a lot of people, and that's how we get a lot of information out as well. So that's on the top of my list. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all on my end. And I don't know if Tanya wants to add anything. Yeah, any questions or concerns?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for all your hard work you've been doing. And Tanya, we're so glad you've joined the team with him. We welcome you. Does anybody have any questions for Chris?
I'm wondering, on that driver position that you'll be posting, is that a CDL required license or just regular?
Just regular.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That's like me.
And two clarifications for the notes. Are we going to pick a time for the walkthrough tomorrow right now? One. And two, these jobs that are being posted in light of the city council passing the non-residency requirement, Chris, could someone that does not live in Lynn apply for the job?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And as the group, do we want to meet at 10 or 11 tomorrow, or is later afternoon better? All those in favor of morning, raise your hand.
Question before we go to the vote.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for Chris regarding what Pam said with non-residents applicants. Is there going to be a criteria in place for residents, you know, to be given priorities over this application before non-residents?
There is. All things being equal, we're supposed to hire the Lynn person.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pam, you can go ahead.
Okay, and this is more of a role, you know, just to get people's things. So morning, if that works better for you, raise your hand. All right. If afternoon works better.
Morning, afternoon, midnight, and 3 o'clock in the morning.
If neither will work, raise your hand. You'll just be there because you want to see the new center. All right. So I think that Counselor Jakutis and Barbara has a conflict in the morning. So afternoon would work better. And those that said morning could do afternoon. Is that correct? Okay. All right. So what is a good time, Barbara, for
Well,
you?
I probably can't do it before 2:30 or 3 tomorrow.
Okay.
Or is Friday better? Or I mean, it's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, Friday's all right with me. I have an appointment at 1, but other than that, that'd be like an hour. But any other time, Friday's okay for me. I have obligations tomorrow morning, so I can't do anything.
I agree with Friday as well.
Kathy Paul, could you go on mute, please? Okay.
Or we can do 2 walkthroughs if whatever works best for everyone. I don't mind.
Okay. I was going to say, could we do tomorrow morning and then do another one at 3?
That's fine with me.
That's fine with me.
All right.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Do we want to try 10 a.m. Thursday and then 3 p.m. Thursday?
That's fine.
What about 11 a.m.? Oh, that's too close to the other gap, right? I'm on for 10.
No, I don't think it matters, Mary. If 11 works better, we could do 11 a.m. and then a 3 p.m.
Hey, Pam.
11 works better for me.
Okay. 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow, April 28th for the walkthroughs.
Okay, we just meet there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions for Chris?
Oh, I got one for Pam. Pam,
Yes.
can you give me a ride?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to make a motion to suspend the rules for a minute because we do have a speaker here that wants to speak for a few minutes. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
All right. We have Mike Sweeney here from the Veterans Office. Mike?
Thank you.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. I'm one of those people. I always end up the first few words. I always have to be reminded that I'm still on mute. So, but yeah, I know. I will be brief. You guys have a full agenda, but I saw that it was on the agenda, and I wanted to touch base a little bit of an update after Thursday's meeting. And first, to start off by saying thank you to the Council on Aging, Mass Senior Action. I know Neighbor to Neighbor was there, but in particular, I know I see Joan on the call. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, Joan. And Chris for setting that up, and Diane was there. I think I can go down the list of everybody who was there. I know Pam was there. What I think came out of that meeting is we're in the process now of setting up a meeting. The congressman his office reached out yesterday about having a meeting where he would attend. And that could be in the next couple of weeks. We're still trying to tie down whether or not the VA will be at that meeting because that was the issue. So for those who weren't in the meeting, and I just want to give a quick rundown of it. So the VA has, and I promise it'll be an abridged version of the other day where I kind of went on. So for those who don't know, the VA has a big facility, a hospital in Bedford. And from that hospital, there are 3 what they call satellite facilities, or these clinics that are run throughout the region. One is in Lynn, one is in Gloucester, and the other one is in Haverhill. When they call them clinics, it's sort of it sounds like they're not really emergency room kind of care, but they have really critical things there. They have primary care doctors, dietitians, psychiatrists, social workers. It's a real critical lifeline for a lot of our veterans to use. Right now, there are by the VA's numbers, there's about 2,000 veterans enrolled in that VA clinic. I've been in this job about 18 years. So I tend to remember things. 15 years ago, the VA tried to do the same thing. Because essentially what it is they have 3 clinics. They really want to get down to 2 in this region. It's just been a long-standing push for the VA. So to give you the Cliff's notes on it, in order to get to 2 clinics in this region, they need to move Lynn further north. The Lynn clinic needs to be moved further north so that they can close Gloucester. So it's a 1-2 punch. So if you know anyone in Gloucester, they're on the chopping block as well. What we've been arguing is that the VA has sort of presented this to us as a fait accompli. They haven't talked to one veteran in the city of Lynn. They haven't engaged with the city. They haven't engaged with veterans organizations. And last week, Chris Gomez set up a meeting on behalf of Mass Senior Action and the Council on Aging, and the Congressman's office came down, and I think heard from the people in the room their frustration at the process with the VA. Some of the people that testified or spoke, myself, Dan Cody, who's a Purple Heart veteran from Afghanistan, he spoke there, and a person spoke I think maybe familiar to many in the room. General Andrea Gale Bennett spoke, I think, poignantly about the process. And I think the thing we're finding with this process is the VA is really not taking anything into account that would be able to measure what you might call access or equity. They're counting heads. They're saying, well, there are more veterans living here as opposed to there. And they've cherry-picked data, and they've from that cherry-picked data, frankly, in my own opinion, and I think it's backed up by facts, they've manipulated the data to make it because they're reasoning backwards is my point. They want to have one fewer clinics, so they're reasoning backwards and using any pieces of information they can that they think would buttress that point, and it doesn't. So it's an ongoing process. I think this is going to be a slog. I really do. I think it's going to be a long fight, but I can't thank the Council on Aging, Mass Senior Action, everyone who is there enough, because I believe the meeting we're having in a couple of weeks, it should be in mid-May, we're working on the scheduling with us, Congressman Moulton's office. We want to make sure that they know how the kind of impact this is going to have on our community and on our veterans. What we're hoping for them to do is to bring, that was, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe Joan can, if my memory fails on this one, but I think that we made it very clear to them that the VA has committed, and I was in meetings for this, that if the congressman hosted a meeting and invited the VA, they would attend. So that's what we're hoping to have happen now. Instead of waiting on the VA to come up with a long, they're going to have committee hearings on this, commission hearings in about 6 months. So I guess I wanted to just give everyone an update. I don't know if there's any questions. Like I said, I think it's really unfair. They're really doing real. I think in order to save money, I think they're coming up with a plan that looks good on paper, but really isn't good for veterans who use this clinic. And I think a lot of veterans who use this clinic don't have access to transportation. They don't have the money to get around. And I think it's a lifeline for them. And I think, as I said in the meeting, they're not taking into account barriers to access to care that every other federal agency accepts as a given: age, sex, race, transportation, disability status. They're just counting, well, there's more veterans in this. And where I knew that this was kind of a goof, and I said this in the reasoning backwards and using data just to help their point, was that they say that more veterans live within 30 to 60 minutes of Salem than Lynn. And on its face, everyone says, wow, that makes a lot of sense. But when you look at the map, you see that the Bedford VA Hospital, which is the main, the main hospital, is only 45 minutes away. And I don't think anyone would imagine that if you live right next to the big hospital, you're going to travel 45 minutes to go to Salem for a clinic. So that tells me they know those people aren't going to use the clinic. And it just tells me, my gut tells me that, when they looked at 30 minutes, the number didn't do the work they wanted it to do. So they wanted to go to 60. And I think that kind of manipulation of data is, I think, unfair to us. And I think that the process hasn't been fair. And so I will promise what I'd like to do is, as time goes on, update the Council on Aging and continue to work. We'll let you know what's going on. And I told you, I think to his credit, the Congressman's office responded pretty quickly about having the Congressman himself come down for a meeting, and when that is finalized, and it should be within a day or so. With the Veterans Council, we'll make sure that that's a meeting that everyone should attend and knows about it. I have some information that I will pass on through you, Madam Chair, to give to the members of the Council on Aging. We've been recommending that if people are upset about this, that they call, his name's Dr. Ryan Lilly, and he is the director of the New England VA. When you call that office, they will say, no, call Bedford. They're the ones to talk to about this, but they're not making every meeting I've been in, Director Lilly has run the meeting. So we're kind of trying to get that done. There'll be a lot of events coming up, I believe, where people are going to come out and talk about it more. So I promised to be brief, and I wasn't so brief, but I want to say thank you. Just a lot to cover down on, and just mostly, we're moving forward. We appreciate the support. And I know for a lot of veterans, again, if, they think, again, my point is they think Salem or Peabody is 20 minutes away. And, we always say if you have a veteran who's using the ride to get to the Lynn VA clinic, imagine how much more difficult it's going to be to get to those areas, and they're not taking that into account. And I think it's a sin. So with that, I'll say thank you for having me. And if anyone has any questions.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Why is it that they're doing this? Haven't we neglected our veterans since the Vietnam War? And I don't think they spend much money on these hospitals either.
Well, I'll tell you oh, please. Yeah, no, it's, there's no doubt that I hate to say it, I always sort of try to make a distinction between the people providing the care and the management and the decisions they make. Because I think if you go to the Lynn VA clinic, the reason we fight for it so much is I think the care is very good. It's the resources, to your point, that they don't have. But I think this is they have like a 80-page report that basically boils down to what I said, which is they're trying to save money. I think when you have 3 clinics in the area, and what happened about 25 years ago, again, I'm old enough to remember, John Tierney, when he was congressman, they forced them to make that 3rd clinic. They didn't want to. And the whole point of a clinic is not to save money, to your maybe deduct on. The entire purpose of these clinics is to get healthcare closer to the veteran.
Right.
Because we all know proximity means care, right, sir? So I think that, the spirit of your point, I agree with. I think, and especially since Vietnam, I think one of my friends is he's the former state commandant to the Marine Corps League in Massachusetts and a Vietnam veteran. His name's Warren Griffin. And what he gets upset about is he always feels like when it's time for Vietnam veterans to retire and access all this care, all of a sudden we find out we don't have the money for it. And that's his own, I believe I'm an Afghanistan veteran. I think all of us from different eras, and we have a different ear on things, sir. And I think the fact that you brought up the way Vietnam veterans are treated, I think speaks completely to that. And my father was in the service during the time, and heck, he was spit on the way home, and I think a lot of Vietnam veterans didn't access this care. And
right.
Now that they may feel the ability, or frankly, I believe one of the things we've been challenged with Vietnam veterans, and I see it, and it breaks my heart. Retirement has been difficult for a lot of Vietnam veterans because those things you've done, those coping strategies you've used over the last 40 years to keep busy and not, that kind of thing. So speaking, if I'm preaching to the choir, I don't mean to. I think, especially now, our Vietnam veterans, as they move into retirement, need those resources close to home. And I think
actually most veterans are dying homeless on the streets because of our neglect.
No, I'll tell you, sir, it's it's terrible. But I think that this is, they will tell you that this is because of recently changing demographics, but again, it's the same exact plan from 15 years ago. So I think what they want to do is I don't mean to laugh because it's more sad than funny, but I get frustrated. So again, at the end of the day, there are 3 clinics in this area and they want to have 2. And I don't think you need to be, and I'll speak for myself. I don't need to be a rocket scientist to see what that's about. Do you know what I mean? They're going to they're going to take 2,000 patients in Lynn and 2,000 patients in Gloucester, and they say they want to move those 4,000 patients to a clinic in Salem. And I think I've spoken to some of the people on this call about how difficult it's been for our seniors to get care in Salem now, with Lynn not having any access to it. So I think this is only going to exacerbate that, and it'll look good on the books. I'll just say that, and I think it'll look good on the books, and they'll tell you that it's amazing. And I think as it goes up the joke I always say is, sarcastically, as it goes up the line, I'm sure there's a presentation someone at the VA will give that'll say this is better care. But the reality is, to your point, sir, if they're going from 3 clinics to 2, I think that's even math I can do.
Thank you very much, Mike. I'm sorry, I just want to cut in. If it is possible, when you're representing the veterans, I would personally like to attend the next meeting. I want to be there. Please put my name down. And I want to ask you 2 questions. The first one is, you mentioned Dr. Lilly. I don't think Dr. Lilly is the decision maker. I think there are some technocrats and some administrators behind the scene that are making this decision on behalf of an entire city to streamline and then converge our veterans to travel 45 miles to receive treatment. I'm a father. I have a son that's a veteran. And in the case or in the event that he's sick and this situation happens, then somebody has to talk to me about why they are making this decision for a city that's been incorporated over 100 years ago to now streamline this thing. What we need to know are the technocrats, the administrators behind this thing, because I'm not pretty sure the military are even in the loop of this thing, of this process. So we need to know their name. This Dr. Lilly is not going to talk to nobody. I'll tell you that much. There are some administrators behind the scene that are actually pulling the string. This has to stop. I want to be part of that meeting. I'm not going to be, because everybody's going to say the same thing, that this is not right. But if you are representing the veterans and talking to us about this today, the takeaway is, on behalf of the city of Lynn, John, this is unacceptable to me personally, and I don't think it's acceptable to a lot of citizens in the city of Lynn. So they need to take it back and then go back to the drawing board and say, you know what? The city rejects these proposals, so you need to think better. Otherwise, they have to contend with over 2,000 veterans in the city, and parents and fathers, and it doesn't saves money, saves cost.
No, and I'll tell you, sorry, make it, and thank you. I, as a father of a serviceman, a veteran, that this isn't, that sometimes it's hard for people to reach out for help. And I keep going back to it. I think you're right. By the way, you're 100% right that these decisions are made bigger. That's kind of what my point was too, is he's the biggest one in the region. And that's where I'm hoping maybe we can get some better answers when having the congressman bring the VA down. But absolutely, it's going to be an open invite, sir. And I thrilled to have you there. One thing I would say,
I'll be honored.
Thank you. No, I'd be honored to have you there. So what I would say is, in terms of the city, we've been very, lucky. And I'd say this because I've done this for a long time, and I know a lot of my colleagues in other cities and towns. Within 24 hours of us being notified about this, the mayor, the city council, and the state delegation, every last one of them signed on to a letter to the VA demanding a meeting, and they've been incredibly supportive. And I think that's why now that we're bringing Congressman Moulton in, I think a lot of those, and I think that they've been working with them. But I think that one thing I can tell you is that from the city's point of view, I've been really lucky. We've been told they've been working with us every day on it. We've been trying to figure out the best way to manage it. But at that end of the day, I think you're right about that, though. Again, to your point, if you have the same plan that you had 15 years ago, if the same plan from 15 years ago is being used today, then clearly this is a bigger, you're right about that, sir. And what they will tell you is there is some truth. There are going to be fewer veterans today than there were 20 years ago. There'll be fewer veterans there, but the needs go up. And, I don't know how old I don't know, and I'd love to talk to you offline, sir, about your son, but veterans now, because to the last point, many Vietnam veterans never accessed care. And we're better at care now. And I say we, the VA, and I mean the healthcare people are superb. So you have a veteran today, they may access more care than a veteran who did 40 or 50 years ago. So the idea that fewer veterans means you need to provide less, I think, is a flawed assessment. And they always, and I think, so I take your point. Thank you. We'll make sure you're, and not just you, sir, I'll make sure you're personally, especially, but everyone on this call, please come down, because we want this to be a community thing. Because to your point, sir, you're a great example. How many people you know, you walk down the street, it may not be a veteran, but they're the son of a veteran, the cousin of they understand the pain. So please, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. I think Ms. Pam is going to give you my credentials.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody have any questions?
I just
for Mike?
wanted to say that once the date is determined with the meeting, I will send it out to the whole board.
Okay.
Thank
you. All right. Beautiful.
I think it's on Mary's hand up.
Do we have a telephone number for Dr. Ryan Lilly so that we can call?
We do actually, and I'm looking at it. I think I'll put it out and I'll have it sent out. If you want to give me 1 second, I'll give it to you right now. I'll have it by the end of the call. But it's Director Lilly. He isn't a doctor, but
Director Lilly.
Yeah, he's the director of the New England region of the VA.
All right.
And so, even though they'll tell you when you called, I think I mentioned it, and I know you were there. They'll mention when you call, they'll say, "Oh, no, you need to call Bedford." Say, "No, I'm leaving a message with you."
That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm leaving a message.
And I think it makes sense, and so we'll go from there. Let me just I'll have that in a second. I want to make sure I'm giving you the right number, but it's Director Lilly. He's the director of the New England the entire New England VA.
Okay.
And he is, and as I've said before, I think every meeting I've been in, he's been the one running the meeting. So he's the boss.
All right.
So thank you, and thank you for being there today, man.
Thank you, Mike. Does anybody have any other questions for Mike? No. All right, Mike, thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And when you get that information, just send it to PM and she'll send it out to everybody.
Perfect. I'll send you a little flyer again.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So let's see. Next on our agenda is Joan, Friends of Council of Aging.
Yes, again, I have no report because we have not formally met, but I have spoken to everyone on the board and would like to thank Diana for reaching out to us and offering a facility where we might meet. But we felt that we would wait until we could get into the center and formally have a meeting. So I thank you for your concern for the Friends of the Council on Aging. Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome. Anybody have any questions? No? All right, so we're going to go on to new business and old business, which we just did the VA. So the next is the tax abatement. And I'm going to give that one to PM because I know you've been working close with Chris on that.
Yes, Mass Senior Action is very excited. The assessor announced that they have reviewed the tax abatements for Lynn senior homeowners, and they are in one case going to more than triple. The work-off program used to be $600, and now it will be $1,500 deducted from your taxes. And then also there will be another program that is income qualified with asset limits. But all of that, they're going to start sending out. Chris is trying to work with the clerk's office to see if maybe there isn't a way that they can send out the information by using, like the city census, those addresses, those numbers, so that everybody can get it. But he did ask all of us to do what we could to let our network know, help promote it. They're going to get out some new materials to distribute so that people can, and I'm going to work with Echo to try to get it out to the houses of worship and, try to get some more things in the Lynn item so people will know. But this is very exciting. The update had not been done in many years in Lynn. So we're now kind of getting similar to other surrounding communities for senior property taxes. So we want to thank Chris and the assessor's office.
Thank you, Pam. Does anybody have any
Question.
other questions?
Yeah. Yes, Miss Diana, I have a question. Miss Pam, do we know the starting age that the city is considering on the income perimeter?
Yes, and that is on the assessor's website for both of those.
Okay.
Yes, I believe that for the work-off program, Joan, you can tell me, is it 60 or 65, did he say? I think it's 60 this time.
I think it is
Yes.
60.
That's what I heard.
Yes, and
Also, the hours have, because before we only had to work 45 and a half hours.
Yes, you are mute.
Now it is, I believe, 105 because the amount has been up to $1,500. So the number of hours that you have to volunteer, that has also increased. But I think one of the great things that the assessor said was, if you are unable to work and you qualify for the work-off program, you can have someone work for you. In other words, if you have a friend that's willing to put in the hours for you, they will work with you. So I think that's a big help to seniors who are disabled and still, willing to volunteer to work on that work-off program. It's very important. That's a big help with the taxes, the real estate taxes.
yes, and just following up with Joan, one thing that we had found out previously at the senior center is many of the homeowners that are volunteering, they enjoy it. So even after they, met their 42 hours, they would continue to do it. So those hours could be rolled over onto, a homeowner that perhaps isn't able to do something maybe. They could team up.
The one thing that you can't do, no matter how many hours you put in, you can't carry them over to another year.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean carry them over for you. I said it wrong. Like, let's say that you're working, Joan, at the senior center and you're getting credit. So Joan, you hit your 105 hours. You're done. You can go home. And Joan goes, well, no, I still like working here. I'm not going home. Well, then the assessor's office could say, well, Joan, we're going to take your extra hours and give it to Mary Joyner because Mary's not able to.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Chris had given me a phone call and we were talking about that. Now, the 41C exemption, which is based on income and assets, is you have to be 70 years old for that one. But that is another $1,500. Is that right, Chris? I think.
Yeah. And for the 41A, you have to be 65 years of age as of July 1st.
Okay, 65.
For the clause 41A.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to get information. Assessor Gator is getting some materials together that we can start sharing and getting that out there for people. So
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions? No? All right. Anybody have anything to add to the meeting today?
Well, I would like to apologize. I had technical difficulties, so my apologies.
That's fine. You still made it. That's fine. We're glad you're here.
Sure.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see people tomorrow, either at 11 o'clock or 3 o'clock tomorrow to tour the new senior center. So we look forward to it. It says a big smile every time you say senior center.
mm-hmm.
Wait, Miss Diana, is Miss Tanya going to say anything to the board? Let us just hear her out.
Good morning, everyone. I am holding in my excitement about this new senior center that will be focused on you all. I am very privileged to be part of this very sacred and historical event. And I just look forward to meeting all of you in person and starting something very special with all of you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Tanya, will you be at the tour tomorrow of the building?
Absolutely. Yes, I will.
Great. So
Okay.
everyone else can meet you that has not met you yet. Look forward to it.
Likewise.
And what time is the tour?
There's going to be 2 times. The first tour will be given at 11 and the second tour at 3 p.m. And if Chris is called away, I will be there to tour whoever is able to show up.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
All right. I think we're set for this meeting and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.
Yay, about time.
Hard work.
Bye, everyone.
Hey,
Have
I'm
a
so
great
excited.
day.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good day now.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.